1.
Alright guys, so we are going to learn about the Carl dataset and what they want. So right now they want moon phase. And it says Karen has noticed that there may be a relationship between the phase of the moon when a student comes to the clinic and their diagnosis. She wants to investigate this possibility. So on the first question, they say generate a bar graph to visualize the distribution of moon phase. How many students visited the clinic during the full moon? So first thing we got to do is import our dataset from our local file and look for Karloff. So it's right here. Open. So we're going to rename all this to just Carl because it's easier. And our heading's already a yes. Make sure this is a yes. And we're going to import. All right. So now it shows us all this and then it shows us moon phase right here because this is where we're going to be using when they visited the clinic. So we got to download the key also. So we might as well download the key. And now we're going to use our hashtags. So hashtag create a table for moon phase. So to do that, all we have to do is put what we're looking for. We're trying to make a table and it's going to be under Carl $, moon phase. So now all we have to do is run this code. So now it gives us the full, the new, and the partial. Okay, now the next thing, oh, my bad. So the first thing we gotta do is put for full, because they want to know how many visited the clinic during full moon, 46. So now, the next question asks, to create a table to show marginal probabilities for moon phase, what is the probability that a student visited during a new moon? So now the first thing we gotta do, hashtag create a marginal probability table. And you can call this whatever you want, it's up to you. I'm just calling it this to make it easier for me. And I also like to space it out so I can have room on my RStudio. So now, the first thing we gotta do here, we gotta rename this. So I'm gonna call this KTab1. And then we have to run this again. And now, when we do our prop table, we're going to put KTab1. So now, I know you can't see it on my screen, but it's going to be a decimal 46, decimal 30, and decimal 24 for full, new, and partial. So they want, I believe, the new moon. So it should be 0.30. Now, next question says, now we got to create a contingency table for the variables moon phase and diagnosis. And how many cells does this table contain? So now what we have to do is create a regular table. So we're going to create a table. again. So hashtag create a table for moon phase and diagnosis. So to create this, now we have to do a table, and we're gonna put Carl $, moon phase. Do not forget this comma because it is very important to you. Because without that comma, the whole thing's not gonna work. And then we're gonna do Carl $, diagnosis. So now we run this code and it gives us all this right here. So it gives us the lycanthropy, Windegospi for full lycanthropy is 36, full Windegospi is 10, new lycanthropy is 11, and new for Windegospi is 19. Partial should be 12, and Windegospi should be 12 for partial. So now they want us to do how many cells does this table contain? Meaning how many lycanthropy Windegospi are there total? So if you do the math, it should come out to 100 because of the fact that there's 100 observations in here. So now we put over here 100. So now, in the contingency table for moon phase and diagnosis, which cell contains the maximum number of students? So we look back over here and we look at which one has the maximum number of students. So full lycanthropy has 36. Windegospi has 10. New lycanthropy is 11. New Windegospi is 19. Partial lycanthropy is 12. And partial Windegospi is 12. So in the contingency table for moon phase and diagnosis, which cell contains the maximum number of students. So I think it's full moon phase lycanthropy. And there you go. So now, guys, we're going to rename this. I'm going to call it K tab 2. And now we had to run this code again. So now, the next question it asks us is create a table showing the conditional probabilities of a student's moon phase given their diagnosis. So the question is, what is the probability of a new moon lycanthropy? So now you have to do its prop table again. So hashtag create a marginal probability for moon phase and their diagnosis. So now we do prop table K tab 2. So now we run this code